children of planet Earth. Hello from the children of planet Hello from the children of planet
Good morning. What's up, everybody? Good to see y'all like it is every morning. Good to see y'all. Let's get your going on this. Get that coffee. So good. Way too many tabs open. All right. Market pulling back just a little tiny bit, trading slightly below the overnight dynamic head charts. We had a 60 and a 65 on the S&P. Hit 60 as resistance and was selling off a little bit. I'm trying to find some downside. Market on monthly maps, monthly maps listeners market being healthy. Pretty great, interesting to see. Consumer confidence comes out in about half an hour right after market opens. So we have 3 minutes till market opens. Then we get that coming out. So it could be a little spark. That's FOMC speakers today. There's actually a lot of speakers today. I'm going to keep your eye on that. How are y'all doing today? I think today's I'd say medium-ish earnings day. Some decent ones, but nothing really going to move the market. It's only a couple of big hitting stocks. Morning. All right, so we get DD bands stuck in the middle. Just like always, there is no irrationality at the open. All lights are green. Things are looking great. Smash the like button while you're chilling and waiting. How'd my trade do yesterday? I don't remember what was yesterday. Oh, yesterday. Yeah, I broke even plus like maybe $50, something like that. I was short with the 1 point stop, and as soon as we had that little dip candle right there, I closed out. Right at half count. All right, 1 minute till market opens. All right, let's see. We got resilience is positive out the door. Market's opening with on a gap down. Trying to look to fill the gap. I say that's appropriate for today. So let's see if we don't fill that gap and fade a little bit. I'm not trying to make any judgment call till the let's see what we get. Yeah. And price pre-market open reliable. Not well, it's not like it's not reliable. Res is anchored off the open and close, right? And so in the pre-market, we use the active price as the open price until the open price actually anchors. So it's not really, it's like it's not reliable, but it is showing you what the actual active price is. Okay, okay, let's see what we got. Resilience positive through the box. We've got hedge pressure resistance from the thing. Okay, so here we go. Resilience through the box. And then short off of that. Easy peasy. There's a hedge pressure short today. Let's see what we got on Qs. Qs are still barrel long up. So we have some competing signals today. Qs are like that. Res greater than 0. Nasdaq resilience is less than 0. So we're here. So I'm not trading in the middle. I'm going to pick something on each extremity there. All right, take a look at monthly map today. Monthly maps are still bullish on all fronts, looking great on S&P. Okay, that's good to see. Still bullish. Maybe get Mike a pull back in this bull area. Okay, resilience is negative now. As Leah said, something's on the edge. Correct. And a lot of things are kind of opening flat-ish from yesterday, so a lot of things are going to be on the edge. We can probably pin it down to like a larger... Let's go through liquidity map. Let's select all. Find out which ones are near the edge. Good call. Intel. NVIDIA. All right, so today, here's the setup that I'm looking for today. I'm looking for resistances off of hedge pressure, so I'm going to wait and get a short off of there. It's going to be another, let's check the volatility today. Yeah, Nvidia and others are just opening flat around the edge. So a lot of your stock's going to be right there because they're opening flat-ish. Yeah, their big hitters, Amazon. Amazon, the same boat. I need something that's broken above half cap. Let's search for above half. This is one of my favorite tricks to do. Johnson & Johnson. Looking for the bigger traded ones. CrowdStrike, Coca-Cola, Apple. It's Apple again. And the tech side goes. Yeah. Apple breaking through right here in the middle with a little bit of turbulence. Well, that's not really causing a lot of turbulence now, but something is passing through the middle. A lot of them are. I say Apple being one of them, yeah. All right, today we got the down day setup. Let's look at the VIX liquidity map. So, guys, smash that like button on the stream today. We love you. Give us some love on the algorithm. Market's not flying. A lot of stocks are going to be moving. Remember, we got an event in about 25 minutes, so don't forget. Don't sleep on that one. CB consumer confidence number coming out in just a little tiny bit. So higher than expected reading is obviously going to be bullish for the dollar. And this is the confidence. This is spending power. Obviously, consumer spending is a big part of the inflation equation and impression of that. As you see, let's just kind of show you what it looks like. This is coming out kind of today. Clearly, this this was the big 12-year rally we had, and that was what you kind of see looking like that, right? In times of crisis, and this is the 2000 and 2001 market crash. You can see like leading up into it. Look, 140, 150. This is the post-COVID rally. I'm sorry, pre-COVID rally. That high as well. Confidence is still pretty high-ish, relatively speaking. But not really doing much as far as trending goes, right? It's just kind of hugging the 100 level. So you could provide some volatility, maybe give me a high to play from. Until then, we know these events are on the calendar and never really like to just gamble into them. If especially the ones. Little trick, if you guys are writing something down for your little handy dandy notebooks, what you have is that when you have any event that could happen in the first, I don't know, hour or so of the market, a lot of times you should hold off and wait for that event before you make your decisions, because usually, even though the event may not change the direction of the market or anything, it often can create a better opportunity for a trade you want. Especially like right now, right? Where we are, if there is downside, it goes down to here. If there is upside, you got to break through hedge pressure, right? Go to here and go out. This is hedge pressure break, right? So now that we're looking at the setups and I'm kind of just trading in between a zone, this event's gonna come out and give me a little pop to take action on. I'm not ever baited into actionability before there's a possible catalyst, right? So we do using liquidity maps today. If you guys have never seen them before, this is part of the Rocket Scooter suite and the indicators. If you want to check them out, we do have a $35 a month extended trial for the $200 package, and that's about to go up in price on December the 1st, which is right around the corner. But the extended trial is $35 for 3 months, a month for 3 months, sorry. You guys can play with our platform and get used to our tools and learn how this stuff works. So bear short up liquidity map telling me that I'm looking for resistance off of hedge pressure inside of the bear zone of the market. So far we open, we're trading lower, and I'm kind of waiting to see what happens here. Resilience is an indicator that is the strength of the gap. Now, right now we have no irrational signals. All the lights are green, and resilience is greater than 0. So I'm not going to be fooled and chase a red candle now. This is likely to move up other than down. So the resilience greater than 0 is telling me this is wanting to flex through the box to the upside. And as long as that stays above 0, then we're kind of good on that. Our little cheat sheets that you guys can see will tell you how we perceive resilience. Now, Let's find the bullish one. Clearly the number itself is about 6 right now, 6 to 10. And anytime you're below the box, it's just going to want to try to make its way to fill the gap. So anytime in here, it's going to try to make its way at least to here to fill the gap, as long as this number stays positive. Okay. So if you're inside of the box, which we're not, the tie break tends to push it higher rather than lower. And of course, if you're above the box, the bounce goes this way. So right here, I'm looking for it to actually move through the box to some degree. And so my particular trade setup today is going to be, as long as it's positive now. Now, again, I want to short this, but I'm curious if I want to have a twofold short. So let me draw my thoughts on this one, right? So res greater than 0, at least a half gap. And from here, there's a possible 1 and then 2 leg play. Right, enter off of here and here. Lower target DD band, right? Anytime we're trading down here and res is positive, I don't try to trade it all the way up through the box. I'll be conservative and maybe trade it to the halfway point. But it's right on the edge, so I'm not going to long that. It's just right there. Now it keeps dropping below 16, right? Negative 16, negative 26. You know, we're having some stocks kind of lose that momentum. So today I'm feeling down day today very easily. I am planning to short the half gap projection. Yep, you nailed it. Jesus, so smart. Well, both of them, right? I'm going to play this one and that one. I'm going to let the market move up. The only thing is, like, from here, it's only 4 points, right? It's not far. On futures, it's not far at all. So that's not worth taking the long side of it. It's too risky. You guys understand that? So I got leg 1, leg 2. And I'm going to let the event in about 20 minutes give me that momentum to the upside. Great. How are you guys doing today? Did y'all have a wonderful... Did everybody have a good holiday? Great Thanksgiving? Did I do anything cool? Anything fun with the family? Who's ready to be back home? Who was just like, yeah, I love my family for like a hot minute, but be loud and there's 1,000 of them ready to be home. Working. Can you check CLCO? So by the way, any upside is also limited. VIX is opening above hedge pressure. So VIX is actually in a bullish liquidity map right now, right? So we are likely to have volatility increase. So I know that I'm going to get some V's as well. So I'm going to trust that I'm going to get a pop before I actually do any kind of long or short. MK, what do you want me to check? CLCO. Okay, there's no data for it. Let me see. It might not have weekly options. It doesn't have weekly options, sorry. Oops. Sorry about that. When it doesn't have weekly options, you can't calculate a liquidity map for it. So Nasdaq is right here. My thoughts are, should I just engage in a small trade? Just because it's looking pretty gnarly. I feel like every time I do this, I lose. Let me just wait. Am I speaking? No. I'm slamming a burrito. Yeah, as Jared said, if I shorted now, it would be like shorting on off of any level. Nine minutes until consumer confidence comes out. Honestly, I just feel the need to put in a feeler on this because it'll only go up to 60. So I'll only be upside down about. I'll only be upside down, let's see from here, about 9 points, and I can throw in 10 more. So I'm going to get into a starter position just because it looks like it's going to come down. Let's actually do it in 2 bites. Just to do something. I probably should have shorted on that pop, but in either case. Just using liquidity maps and resilience when everything's pointing downward-ish a little bit. Right, so here, down. So if there is any kind of pop, I've got some maneuverability to play for on there. Sminy, like a tiny little, I said sminy, small, tiny position. I'm inventing words here. What are you guys feeling today? The downside moves pretty prominent. But again, like I said, just a starter in case it goes and then something to play. I probably should have maneuvered in on that pop. I'm a little better bit of an entry. I could have gotten maybe like 2 points higher, but no big deal. Clearly, we can see the writing on the wall. Everybody knows resiliences are negative. We're rejecting off a half gap. This is a pretty simple setup today. Well, like the granularity, like I'm usually, my total position that I'm doing right now is roughly 2 minis as my total position. So since that equals 20 micros, you don't get a lot of granularity. Now I pay a little bit more commission trading with micros than I do the 2 minis. Like if you throw in 20 micros and throw in 2 minis, it's the same per tick conversion of money. Oh my god. I didn't say. So the reason to use micros is just to have some granularity, right? Yeah, but you can scale in. So I can chop 20 minis into 2 bites. I get one shot and another shot. But here I can throw in like 3 more, 5 more, 7 more, and build my position of 20. So I have like places to play in to build my bigger position. Right. We have 4 minutes till consumer confidence numbers come out. And of course, we're tapping right here at the bottom of hedge pressure. Holding through news. I mean, that's the whole point. That's why I've got a small position just to see. We have hedge pressure on QQQ. We actually might get a bounce there. So this is one thing that is concerning. I want to make sure that I have something small just in case it comes out bad. Something in my pocket just in case I can play off of it. To be honest, I think that VIX still in decay. There's no signs of volatility. But VIX, here's the thing, guys. Look, VIX is hitting up a hedge pressure itself right at 10, so we can be very careful using UVXY trick. We're right on the edge there on VIX, right? So any upside does have limitations. So any pop right up in here does have limitations. As a matter of fact, let's just hang on. Let me just kind of feel this out. You know what? We're not getting momentum. Let me go ahead and I'll miss out on this if I miss out on it. Let me go ahead and remove that and wait. I just closed out. I am getting a weird iffy feeling that we have hedge pressure on QQQ, right? By proxy, we've got QQQ hedge pressure right here, right? So I know I'm right. I know that there's some downside. I just rather get a better entry on that or whatever. I'm getting cold feet. Like wedding day level cold feet. She's just not the one. I can feel it. Scary money don't make money. Good morning. What's up, Cheyenne? What's up, everybody? What's up, MK? Patience, no FOMO. Hashtag knows that that's how you do it. There's no FOMO here. No FOMO. Oh, Matt's wife. Didn't hear that. Matt don't have a wife. Taking applications, though. If any of y'all want to apply. I can cook. I clean. I garden. We have amazing back rubs. I like to cuddle and watch scary movies. Look at that. There's the move. Let's see if we get anything off of that. Consumer confidence numbers coming through. Oops. 102 on a 101. So that's some upside momentum there. We also have the hedge pressure move on that. We have upside limitations on UVXY here. So let's go ahead and actually get to play this. Let's see what hues are doing real quick. Moving pretty quick. Yeah, same thing. Resilience healed just a little bit, and actually Nasdaq went positive. Let's let this guy pop before it drops. I'm with you guys. I'm with you on that. Make it a little bit bigger here. No, wait, smaller. Be open here, so half cap would be maybe above it a little bit. Just kind of trying to magnitude make it look about what it should look like without changing much of the scale. That's it, y'all. That's what I'm looking for. Let it pop, and then I'm going to short it to a drop. That's it. I'm going to get that trade today. I'm gonna short here and here. That's it. I'm decided. Resilience being positive would push us up. So let's just look there. I've got my two setups there. I'm looking good. Plus we have this is the bigger thing to take note of. We have this right here. Everybody knows this, right? We get upward pressure on the VIX, right? That looks like a weird arrow. It's like a penis. Let me draw it a little bit non-penis like. There you go. All right. Pressure pushing this way. Do I go microgreens to cook with? I do. I do have one pot full of microgreens. However, I've had most of my arugula was recently. I'm starting to have to. I didn't think I was going to get as many passes as I did up in my rooftop because I live up in like a tall. I live a 4-story house in like the city, like this tall, big ass like balcony on the rooftop, the top of the. And I'm like, oh yeah, I won't get like a lot of bugs here. And I get a ton of bugs. I forgot the name of the moth is though. There's a moth that loves arugula. The larvae just chewed their way through half the leaves, and I'm like, ugh. So I'm now in pest control. Now the other day I found some caterpillars eating my basil. I'm like, I thought in the city we scared away all the bugs, and that don't happen. Do I have another meeting today? I have meetings every day. I run a major tech company. We're building the world's largest trading marketplace, and we have a trading platform. I have meetings all day, every day, through midnight till 2 in the morning. It's unfortunate, but I'm not just a trader. I'm also, what were those old 90s commercials? The hair club from him. I'm not just the president, I'm also a client. I'm not just a trader, I'm also the administrative director and CEO of this darn company. I usually stream until 11 o'clock Eastern every day. That's my block. There we go. That's the tap. I'm glad I pulled. Let's start building here, right at the box. 3. The next pop, let's add 3. I'm gonna go full in on my. Maybe I'll do 15 instead of 20. I'm gonna add on every pop. That's what I'm saying. That cat was one of the big caterpillars too. One of those cute ones. The motherfucker was like the size of my index finger. I bet you he started out small. Literally. With my basil, I saw like a little brown lump and I started moving the. Hold on. Like, if I put my finger on the screen and that's like my finger, that's literally like the caterpillar. Like, it was that big. Massive. And he was just chomping through my basil. Like, I'm like, I know my basil tastes pretty good, bro, but like, you know, can you vacate? Had aphids all over. I went on my vacation in Dallas, came back, had aphids all over my cucumbers. So I'm like trying to organically garden this time around. I've never done it before. But now it's like, now I'm getting pests. So I have to learn I have to learn how to do it the natural way. I don't know any of the organic tricks. That's what I've learned. But yeah, there's like a moth that loves the arugula, and there's a whole thing. It's like, it's evolved. No bug can eat arugula because the oil is like gasoline. It's like this toxic smelling, foul smelling thing to insects. They hate it. There's one moth out there that's evolved to do it, and the mom like lands on it and chews on it and tests it and make sure it's not too potent. Well, if it's potent enough, then the baby is fine. Then they plant their little larvae and they eat through your leaves. Those cute motherfuckers. I'm like, oh, I have to chop up the leaves and throw you in the garbage disposal. Literally climbed 4 stories. It probably took him like all summer to get up to the top. I get some frogs or an iguana. See, that's what I'm talking about. I want a rooftop iguana. This is what life's all about, right? Who would have, it's like a gargoyle on the top of my house, except it's a live iguana. That'd be amazing. Yeah, something just eats all the bugs. The biggest problem, the garden's aphids, though. And I'm sure anybody that grows any kind of vegetable knows what aphids will do. They love cilantro, that parsley, leafy stuff. They're ruthless. You see 1 or 2 of them, you be afraid because you'll come out the next morning, you'll see 20,000 of them, and you're like, ugh. All you do is get your water hose and just spray your plants down like car wash style. Just, it knocks them off, but still though, kind of gross looking. I see a bunch of bugs. I live in a townhome. Yeah. Jesus, like the area I live in. So, because you and I chatted, it's all like big ass townhomes over here. Small plots of land. They spilled them straight up. You've been to like Midtown and all that. Yeah. You know what it's like. So my roof, right? And what I love about the roof is that there's like this arched section at the top that gives it shade like half the day. So I get like this blasted sun in the morning, the afternoon, and then later in the afternoon it's in the shade. So it's pretty good. It's great for like tomatoes and other things that just want full sun, but don't want like scorching sun. So yeah, I grow like maybe like 60 different things. All like, you got to do something that's not Wall Street with your free time, right? Including marijuana. I don't grow marijuana. That's a chore. I never tried. But I also don't smoke marijuana, so I wouldn't find any use for it. I mostly eat it through the mechanism of gummy. Smoking in general, I don't like to do because smoking is bad for your lungs. Smoke in general of any type. I limit my smoking to like hookah if I'm ever out at a hookah bar. Yeah. But I'm a gummy aficionado for show. Keep the gummies away from the kids. Yelp. Yep. If you have kids in the house, don't let them get mixed up. It'd be a rather hilarious endeavor. Clearly, it would be scary, but everyone knows that marijuana does not kill people ever. There's like, aren't there like 0 reported cases of marijuana related deaths that weren't like car wrecks or whatever? But still, don't let your kids accidentally find your stash. Keep it in a lockbox. That happened. Quick trip to the emergency room. And the thing is, there's nothing they can do about it, but just monitor. There's like no medicine or anything they can do. They just hook you up and watch you and then make sure you just don't go into some kind of like arrest or something. What is Jesus? What is hyperemesis syndrome? They just monitored as he watched TV. That's got to be scary as a parent, though. But also, if I be honest, if I was, you know, if my son was acting weird and I'm freaking out, I'm like, oh my God, I get taken to the emergency room. They're like, oh, well, we found out he's high on marijuana. I'd be like, phew, okay, good, he's gonna survive. But I would still be freaking out, of course. I just would be glad it wasn't something like a poison or something. What is it? They are just puking their guts out. Oh, the body's trying to detox. Oh, yeah, okay, that does make sense. End up doing it's modern. You watching me, Maggie? You do one of those time frame things after eating a big gummy. This is 30 minutes after eating. This is me after an hour. This is me after 2 hours, and those videos are hilarious. Should I do it while I'm trading? I get too stupid when I'm high. I don't know if I would be. I'm too like just goofy. I say stupid. I say goofy. That's what I meant to say. I'm just not serious about anything. I don't know if I could trade. Well, my broker will at least limit my position size, so I can't like full port with 20 minis. That is so funny. Back to the gardening top. Okay, we have UVXY bouncing off of hedge pressure. We're gonna have some volatility possibilities here, so just keep an eye out for that. I'm only in a position of 6. I was kind of hoping to get a better entry off of a high spot. Look, resilience is trying to push positive. So to be honest, we might actually get this today. So just keep an eye out. We might get a pop, and I'm looking to build higher. These are the best moments in life. Cheyenne knows it. That would be the most relaxing trading session ever. Like emotionless, right? You would just literally stick, because I don't become like an idiot. I still can rationalize pretty well. I'm actually I'm more like professor mode. I like to be a philosopher and just talk and be like, come up with theories and ideas. Under the influence of anything, really. I'm very much like that. So I would probably sit there and just come up with cool ideas for Rock Theater, which I actually kind of do. I'd be like Professor Matt at that point. You'd love to have such gummy bears, Golden Marie. What is the legality of Delta 8 and Delta 9 THC out in your area? Are you still in I was saying that you're either in Germany or Belgium. Marie, I think you're in Belgium. I remember. Where I live in Houston, there's been this constant battle over Delta 8. It was like legal, then illegal, then somewhat legal, and then they removed the illegality for a little bit while it went through jurisdiction. Like it's back and forth as to if it's legal or not. It's certainly decriminalized, though. I mean, nobody ever, like, this, if I can remember correctly. It's all legal in Canada. It's a non-issue. I would say if there is anything in this plan that I'm advocating drug use, friends, it's not. It's more like, y'all know me, I'm a very serious person, serious businessman. More like the idea that a natural substance in this world has the ability to do so much, especially like, and like smoking part is, I always think smoking is bad in general, just for your body. Inhaling smoke, he's a chemical engineer. I mean, I'll tell you, anything has to, any you know, oxidized chemical reaction is going to create oxidation radicals. You're always going to have something that's not good for your body. When you breathe in smoke inhalation is what kills people in fires. And it's not like just because you breathe so much smoke, but like there's always toxic chemicals. Not care how natural something is. When you burn anything, you're always going to create oxidized radicals that usually typically have adverse effects on a lot of parts of your body in general. So, but ingesting is different though. Not really a lot of toxic chemicals and probably the worst part about eating a weed gummy is probably the sugar. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably the worst part for you. There we go, it's the pop. Let's go, man. Let's do it from here, from the middle. The marijuana leads to schizophrenia. I'm sure if you do a lot of something, psychotropic aspect of that could probably lead to mental issues like schizophrenia, because it does affect areas of your brain that are like paranoia and stuff, but also in moderation, which is clearly how I would approach any kind of medicine in my life. My thing was like, I'm not gonna eat a gummy so I can get fucking smashed and like stoned. I'm like, I just want to mellow out. I'll tell you, for me, for my Delta 8s, it's like 5 milligrams, if anything. It's like I'm still functioning, but I'm not like, I got 50 mil gummies and I bite off a little edge. I mean, that's how it is. It's enough, like just enough to make me hungry and funny and mellow out, right? From the coffee and all the hype of the day. So if you do overboard anything, it could probably have long effects for sure, but I don't know. What is a Zen pouch? Never heard of it. Alcohol is worse. Alcohol is absolutely worse for you. And I do like to drink. Yep. All right, we're going to take the short from half gap. See what we get on this one. Yeah, alcohol is very bad for you. Alcohol is extremely bad for like so many parts of your body. Are nicotine pouches in your mouth? Oh, so pouches. I don't know if Jesus, okay, he works in that area, he knows. So like I think anytime you like pouches or anything that you just put directly on your mouth, your gums, like that can cause like, you know, tumors and stuff. I'd be highly against like, I know my brother dips. He's a baseball player. That's kind of a thing. But like, I feel like that's where people get like cancers and tumors. So anything, not just tobacco, like any kind of just constant irritability, you're constantly damaging your cells and your cells are replicating, and you know that always can lead to replication errors. See all kind of chemicals in the area during that process. And so I think like any kind of thing that you shove like a big wad of it in your mouth and chew on it like that could probably be bad for you. Just because of the high concentration. I'm just thinking like an engineer again. You put fiberglass in those dip pouches? Yummy. So you're illegal in Las Vegas. Adults can make their decisions as long as they're hanging with anyone else. Yeah, exactly. Like I would never be in a position where I'd be snacking on a gummy and like hop in my car and go somewhere. It's always like chilling on the couch, not going to go anywhere. And it's not even like it's not like it's a often thing for me. It's like a on occasion sort of thing. What do I got here? Wait, the new Fallout show? There's a show about Fallout? No way. Don't tempt me with the good time here. Hold up. Like one of my favorite video game series in the world now has a show? Is it a cartoon or is it a live action? No way. No way. Let's just say I'm pretty pumped. Fallout's got it's got so much to work with to make a storyline of. It's such a good... Dude, it looks great. You can't really go wrong with anything Fallout. I wonder if the music is going to be like Diamond City Radio, you know? Like the background music's going to be all big band and 50s music. If you play the game, you know what I'm talking about, right? To hear like be Fallout from start to finish, like no modern music. I didn't see the live action one though. The Witcher games that they're in. I know, like I love the Witcher games. The Witcher games are some of my favorite games ever. The show was like not really giving me the vibes of the game. I agree. All right, so what was y'all's favorite Fallout game? Was it New Vegas? I'm sure everybody's is probably New Vegas. Now, I'm one of the few in that crowd that actually liked Fallout 4 more than I liked Fallout 3. Most people think 3 or New Vegas are like the best ones, but somehow like 4 just had really stuck with me. I like that one a lot. Yeah, like that's what everybody says. 3 is like the one that everyone likes. And I just like 4 more than 3. I know that's very like, I'm probably gonna get hate for saying that. Yeah, Fallout 4 with the mods. See, that's what I liked about it. The mods just made it fun. Geez, you have to play the Fallout games. They're great. Except for 76. Don't play Fallout 76. It's kind of meh. The Boston setting. That's what I did like about Fallout 4 was the Boston setting. The Commonwealth. I know, right? See, I think that's it. So yeah, geez, so if you're gonna play a game, it's like a survive. Think about like, without giving you the lore, I think it's like a survival game of zombies, right? You're in the 50s. They sell you the idea of nuclear winter. You buy a fallout shelter, and then it happens. The world blows up. You go in the fallout shelter, then you come out, and now you're in the futuristic world where it's like you, a handful of survivors, and a bunch of mutant zombie creature things. And you're just trying to survive. And the funny thing is you're in, you're 500 or whatever years later, but you're still stuck in like 1952. So people find radios and turn them on, and the music is blasting like 50s music. So you're running around with a shotgun, blowing up mutants, listening to like, jazz and 50s rock and roll. It's just its own vibe. It's a whole different thing. Very kind of like the show Silo. Yeah, Silo was cool. The book's actually, if you read the book, it's called Wool. I have the series, pretty good. Similar, but yeah. So there's also a Fallout shelter kind of thing too, right? The Fallout is like you run around, you pick up stuff on the ground, you make weapons out of it. You explore like this. It's open world. It's great. It's like this giant open world area. You run around, enjoying, whatever. Then there's factions that start up very much like what's that show, Walking Dead, but like it's hard to describe Fallout. It's just a vibe, and if you like it, you love it, because it's like every time a new one comes out, all you do, and it's like a survival game. So it's like you find materials and build a house, you collect things, you build weapons. So you're basically just running. If you're like a loner and just don't want to be bothered, and you just want to like build fires and plant vegetables and like. It's kind of like my real life. At my Fallout 76 house, I have a massive garden. And I grow stuff, grow cucumbers, tomatoes, and stuff. It's like Rust. Yeah, kind of like Rust. Red Dead is like one of my favorite video games ever made. Like, ever. Red Dead 2, the one, yeah. That's like one of the best video games ever made. History of video games. So good. Didn't play Starfield. Never played it. So like at in Fallout 4, like every Fallout game is just a different setting, right? In Vegas, you had Fallout 76 is in like, I guess, Appalachia kind of. Fallout 4 was in like the Boston area. So basically, I think it was Fenway Park, where like a bunch of people to keep the mutants out turned Fenway Park into like a survival colony. And so like all around where the dugouts were and where all the bases were, people had little shops and selling food and whatever. And they called it Diamond City. And it's just like cool to see all the normal things that you would normally see in Boston turn into like post-apocalyptic zombie world. What do you think about UVXY staying below? I mean, it's dancing there, right? I mean, it's one tick off of it. So that's all I can think of right now. You have to take out TV and play Red Dead again. I know, I kind of want to play Red Dead all over again too. Like that game, from the first 5 minutes, you're hooked. Like you're riding around, you and Arthur. I mean, you and the whole gang is Arthur. You're riding around in the snow on your horse, and you're just like, this is gonna be good. I mean, I got my second entry here. I think I'm okay. Steam has a great sale on RD2. Pick it up. It's fun, man. It is really fun. Y'all are video gamers out there. Red Dead is basically Grand Theft Auto in the Old West. That's the only way to describe it. Exactly like Grand Theft Auto. You're just outlaws in the Old West. So instead of like carjacking people, you steal their wagons. First one was good. Have y'all seen the teasers for GTA 6? Like, apparently there's all the NPCs are going to be powered by AI. And so it's going to be like extremely realistic. Just waiting for this to play out. Res is positive. We might get one more extra bump here, but I think that this is probably it. Ready for those microtransactions. Better start saving up now. Let's see, in the last 10 years, what kind of video games do I think were the best video games to ever come out? I would say Witcher 3 was good. Red Dead 2 was great. So I gotta say Fallout 4 was awesome. It's not, I wouldn't say one of the best video games ever, but it's just a personal favorite for my nostalgia. But let's see what else. Let me go to my Steam library real quick. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, better than Breath of the Wild, better than Ocarina. I'm telling you, that game is a masterpiece. You played the new Zelda, it is Zelda. I mean, it is like the best thing. I'm just thinking the last 10 years, I'm not thinking of all time. Once they cleaned up Cyberpunk, it was pretty good. Clearly like Skyrim, that's pretty much one of the best ever. The best city builder game you've ever played is Frostpunk. If you've never played Frostpunk, you are missing out. You like city builders racing time in an apocalyptic world. I did not watch the Cyberpunk anime. The only thing, I know people gave Cyberpunk a lot of hate. The only thing I didn't like about Cyberpunk was the controls. It was real wonky. Of course, Red Dead 2. That was a good one. I'm a huge fan of the BioShock games. A little dated now if you try to play them, but they're still good. Control-wise, though. Frostpunk 2 is coming out soon. I know, dude. I can't wait. If you ever play Frostpunk, you literally, it's one of the hardest games I've ever played too. You know, they keep teasing that 2 is coming out. I have not played the new Baldur's Gate. God of War is good. The new God of War is fantastic if you like that series. The new one is really good. I'm just looking at my collection of newer games that came out. Witcher. Yeah, Marie, if you're gonna play a game, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is good. That's a really awesome game. They're all it's like, oh, you know, you're just like open world, fighting monsters, traveling from town to town. Yeah, no. Battlefront games are amazing. They are pretty good. I was a big fan of the Battlefield games the longest time. I think 5 was probably my favorite one. The setting was just so great. And the maps were okay, but I think that was the best one. I didn't like the new one, 2042. I don't get a lot of time to play games anymore anyways. I know, I'm like, I've never played Path of Exile. Cheyenne. Disco Elysium? Never heard of that. BF5 Panzerstorm. Yeah, I know. Those are fun. Just like back in the day when I had more time, you know, in my young 30s, Jesus, like 10 years ago, I actually would sit on the couch and play Xbox at times. I don't even have the new Xbox. That's how out of touch I am these days. I had a PS5 to play the new Final Fantasy, and I was not excited. I did not like it that much. It was good, but it wasn't great. Gameplay wise and aesthetic wise, it was pretty awesome, but it was just like another linear. It kind of reminded me of like Final Fantasy X Part 2, where you just travel from city to city. It wasn't as open world ish as you wanted it to be. It was just like a grind fest, but the visuals and the story was awesome, but the game was just kind of like falls flat. What monitor do I use for trading? I have an Acer 27-inch gaming monitor, and I have 7 of them. In reality, I don't need a lot of monitor space for trading. I think people that get giant monitors for trading are just wasting their money and time. I use 1 monitor for trading. That's it. The other 6 monitors are managing the stream, the Discord, the emails, you know, the encoder. So they're running, the other monitors are running the business. So I just have 1 small, what you see on the stream, that's the only monitor I use for trading. I don't use anything else. I do it all on 1 screen. So a single 40-inch. Yeah, even if you have like a big, like, you know, 1 giant monitor is great. Like I've seen people like buy giant TVs and put like a million things on it. And I'm just like, I mean, if you need that much information, it's good. I use one screen for like all my Googling, like where I can go look up stuff and read the news and whatever. 2 monitors. If you're using more than 2 monitors when you're trading, you're probably using way too much. But like I've seen people that are like, you know, like 45, 50-inch TVs and just like 3 of them, and just it's just like this, and it's all trading screens and trading charts. And sometimes there's a too much information. It's not good information. 7 monitors, but I've had this since before people had like giant, you know, 8K monitors to exist. Like this was back in the day when, you know, 4K monitors and 2K monitors were the standard. And I bought them because at a time I was working with a company called AtDeck that sponsored our dream for a little bit. And they were, they hooked me up with all this free swag. It's like desk mounts, but they're like heavy duty. They're the company that does the desk mounts for like the major market making firms and investment firms and hedge funds all through Wall Street in Chicago. They're like professional. They were designed early on days when people had dozens of monitors, and they're just these heavy duty steel modular components. You can hook it up any way you want. And it was super badass and still is. So because I have that set up, it's like thousands of dollars of mounting equipment they just gave to me. I have limitations on like the size of monitor anyways, or else I have to redo all of it. And so I've always just loved my 627 inches in front of me, the one to the left. The 7th one is the monitor for my camera, so I can see what my camera looks like while I'm staring at it. The one I'm not going to use, the one I am going to use, I haven't used yet. And then, and I don't need a lot. I don't really need a lot of space. There's the pop I wanted to get. High res. There's the news. Yeah. There's the little pop. There's that hedge pressure tap. I'm just going to chill on this one. 2 42-inch TVs. Yeah. 2 is always better. But I like, as long as you're like not just looking at like 80 different trading charts. Nothing against like a big monitor, big TV. But when I see people that do that, it's like they've got like like 16 different charts and things going on. Like it just, if I had a second monitor, I would use it for like Googling and reading my news and all that. Okay, here's that second entry. I think I just got in a little early on this. I'll just hang on that one. You're using 3 different browsers and no longer getting crashes. Yeah, we've been working on optimizing that portion of the platform. That's good that you see that. It's all coming ahead of the marketplace launch, which, by the way, our marketplace launch is. Why you hate me? Why you hate me, market? That's a big push. Let me double check really quick. What's going on? Anything? I am signed up. Hold on. Oh, Walter speaking. Okay. There's no reason to insist a rate. Okay, this is just rate hike news. So we all know that. There's no. All right, this is a high to short from. I just a little bummed I didn't wait for that. I don't think. We all know that they're not going to be raising rates further into the new year anyways. See, my first inclination was right. All right, I'm going to cut really quick. If we don't get a sharp V off of this, then I'm going to cut very quick. That's a pretty big move. Oh, those Fed speakers. All right. So there's bear zone top. That is the resistance that we're going to see. If there is any one. Right here. If I don't get a nice little V off of that, I'm done. VIX dying. So there is no resistance off of here just yet. This is very, very easy to see where this is going to go against me. Let me go ahead and just delete all of this really quick and show you my ultimate limit on this is going to be, 842, about 2 more, like literally 65. That's it. 65 is bear zone. If we don't get a sharp move off of that, I'm gonna exit around the other side. I'm not gonna play with like a crazy catalyst today. Let's double check and see what Fed's saying. I gotta sign up for this. I thought I was already signed in. That was just a random coin flip that went against us. If inflation consistently declines, there's no reason insistent rates remain high. The good economic arguments that inflation continues falling for several months, you could lower policy rate. I mean, that is expected to see that the Fed will be lowering rates. Okay, the question is this a high people are going to short from? Bear zone, hedge pressure break to bear zone is not what I want to see happen. 65 is the top bear zone. Hopefully open in bear zone, close in bear zone. This is the pivot. I am going to hold on to this because I do feel that this was a little bull trappy. I wish I wasn't in a position now and I would get into a position now, and we'll see if we get it. So this is where I'm looking for now, everyone. Let me just show you. Clearly, this is a different setup now for anything. Now, if I have to be careful on this one, if I do, like I literally am going to close right there. If it does pull back, I'd like to see at least that as a place for me to contemplate moving out of the trade. Now, this would be weird if it keeps going up. I would be very, very alarmed on this. Oops. Now, again, this is not technique. This is not anything that we did wrong. This is a coin flip, apparently from Fed speaker, has created some turbulence in the market, which no one could have forecast or predicted. Unfortunately, part of trading is that as well. That's why it's always important to get your best entry so that if you do get some adverse move against you, you're not too heavily underwater. So let's see if that's right. See where I drew what I just drew you guys. Let's see if we get that rejection on bear zone here. And see if there's anything that comes of it. The market is trying to move off of that. But here's the thing though, right? Like it should be no news that the Fed is going to relax their rate hikes, right? How do you convert the SPY bear zone to ES so fast? In my head. So I look at like where you are. And then I just come over here and I do that really quick. Like when it was here, I just look at, like if I say like if that's 1 point, I'll add 10. That's half a point, I'll add 5. Like for here, 21 to 56, this is 8 points on SPY. Or 0.8, so it's probably 8 points on the S&P, give or take. Yeah, I'm just estimating fucking Fed speaker squeeze on every bone in my body is telling me to hang on to this one for a little bit. Now we have a resistance off a hedge pressure and resilience. Now again, resilience is creeping up, but no way to forecast something of this magnitude. Let's see what really happens over here. Again, I was not expecting the Fed speaker to create any kind of move today. Let me just zoom in on this really quick. This is what we're looking for. This is quite aggressive though, and that is actually volume-based buying, I would say. Let's see if that is a rejection point. I just have a feeling that that's not sustainable. I just had this. Oh, that was some pretty nasty big candles. I'm gonna be very cautious here on the edge. No squeeze days like this. So my hope is that we get back to the bear side and the market does test. Now again, nice little push on here. Bowman saying it's quite possible the Fed policy will need to be at a higher level than before the pandemic to foster low, stable inflation. So Bowman's going the other way. I favor hiking rates if inflation progress stalls. Waller was the one that was saying there's good economic arguments and inflation continues falling. You could lower policy rate. This is stupid. This is not even Fed saying anything. These are just the Fed telling you how Fed policy works. Each one of them is giving you a different side of the argument. But we know that in general, the FOMC is going to maintain their stance that if the stock market's healthy, they're going to push rates higher as they've been doing. And if the stock market's looking like it's hurting, they're going to have to lower rates just to trick Wall Street into being bullish in a period of quantitative tightening, because already the market is in a bad spot to sustain itself under this economic pressure and inflation. So the Fed can't just create a panic that sends Wall Street into a spiral, which would cause a period of stagflation that I don't think they're ready to deal with. If they want quantitative tightening, there's no way they would inject policy that would create a stock market panic and possible crash, because the bailout from stagflation type market crash is quantitative easing. As the Fed comes in with another rescue plan like they did last time, and clearly they don't want to be in a period of QE. They very strictly want to be in a mode of tightening. So they don't want the crash stock market to have to bail us out. So the Fed is driving this very tight path. Can't raise. They want to raise rates. If you really put it down, nose to the grindstone, what the Fed wants to do, they want to raise rates. If they were like, they didn't care about the stock market, the economy, whatever, they want to raise rates more than anything. That is what they want to do to curb inflation. That is their plan. But they know they can't create a stock market crash by being too aggressive. So we know that the narrative now is that they want to taper and cut at some point. We know that. But that's just the narrative now. In 3 or 4 years, the rates will continue to be raised. I'm almost certain. The narrative now is to give hope that they're going to slow down because inflation's under control, yada, yada. And that's just giving the market the bull power that it is. See how clearly bullish the market can be right now, right? The market is ready to be bullish more than anything right now. So they have all the freedom in the world to be aggressive on rate hikes, even though that they cut for half a year or a year, flatten out and cut, maintain a rate less than 6. I think in the next 2 or 3 years, when we're rallying to all-time highs and higher, the Fed will be raising rates into that rally and the market won't care. I'm very confident of that. Holding, I think so. Okay, back to what we're chit-chatting about. Y'all's favorite video games. 65 right here is where I'm drawing when that target is. Clearly, that's where we are. That's what I want to see. Is this a bull trap that's going to get faded? We'll have to see. Resilience is positive enough and VIX is in decline that it's hard to think that we would see some kind of volatility, but anything's possible. I think I'm going to hang on to this one. Although that wasn't like, the thing that I don't like is that there's like 5 or 6 green candles that push it up with volume. It's not just like it's a single candle that popped. This is going to be harder to fade because it was aggressive, and you can see resilience went up with it. This was a stock buy or stock cover. People were aggressively buying stocks for like 5 or 6 minutes. Just everyone buy, everyone buy, everyone. It wasn't just like a quick pop off of a single news event. So whether somebody covered a bunch of shorts or whatever happened, the longevity of this is what has me more afraid of it than if it was just a quick, Not quite pop. So we'll see what happens at 65. We'll kind of wait on this a little bit. But this is the edge of where I want to be. Clearly a little bit of drawdown. No fun on that. Go out. 10 minutes left on the stream also. Ooh. My plan is absolutely to hang on to this for the bigger trade I wanted. I'll take a quick restroom break. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see how things are going with this bull trap thing here. All right. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get lucky, but we'll see. Fed swaps are pricing in 5 basis points additional easing for end of 2024. Really? That would be certainly the trigger for some algorithmic buying and covering in the stock market. Clearly you just, I would say maybe probably short covering from here. On long-term positional outlook. Missed the bullish map. I think we've just been seeing more signs of like, I know, and it sucks because we're not getting like the volatility that normally good shorts would need to go with it. I know, right? Normally I would be sitting out a lot more, but being on the stream, I'm taking a few more trades than I normally would. Just to showcase, you know, actual trading maneuvering. And that's 65 again. Let's see if that's going to act as a rejection. I think hopefully we stay below 455 on SPY just to maintain bear zone. I would say that the idea that swaps are pricing in, you know, longer term Fed rate cuts is a reflection of what we expect in 2024. I don't disagree with 2024 experiencing a rate cut or two. I think the median vote on the dot plot showed that most Fed speakers, I think only 2 of them believed that raising rates was appropriate between now and the end of 2024, like 1 or 2 more rate hikes. And the majority of the rest of them saw flat to down as being the appropriate policy. So I think that this is just the same speakers reiterating their same stance. I don't know. Have you ever seen a $46 climate SPY under the 1 month that is holding too? I mean, this is what we talk about in all our classes. The DD number doesn't lie. The underlying greater bull market is the greater bull market. I mean, even on call selling alone, there's enough in the money cost to project this staying up here as people that sold calls are forced to buy over long periods of time. I mean, that's what monthly map tells you, right? You are sitting in deeper bull territory as the market gets more. You know, let me expand this really quick. Like as the market now, again, it's a little scattered right now, but traditionally, you know, when you have a nice clean market, your monthly map itself is going to be a little cleaner looking. So let's kind of do the best we can with what we have. This is bull side territory, like over time, right? This is time. And you can see over time, it's just trending down. Like you see right here at the bottoms. All the way through 2024, you find yourself at this price deeper into bull territory. You have more and more and more people willing to buy at a lower price, and therefore calls that are existing between here and here are going to force the call sellers to long as those calls are expiring in the money, right? And on the same other token is that on the put side of the market, The bear zone at the top is kind of doing this, right? It's choppy, but still in decay. The downside is shorts covering, and this is shorts getting in and then shorts covering. So the general push of both bull side and bear side sloping down over the next week is still a parabolic upside move on the greater bull market, with probably some selling pressure through here and like that. So any fading of this gap, it doesn't even look like it's like, you know, possible till around, you know, middle of December, at least for the pivot goes on the bear side, where shorting will build up here. So I still think that the market, while we might have a little bit of red, maybe hopefully today, I don't think we're going anywhere close to filling that gap. Matter of fact, I think we're higher before there's any downside. If you were to force me to make a decision, and that's what monthly maps tell me. So like, I'm not like, let me short for like the market to crash out kind of short. That's not the position I'm in. It's more like there's a technical place to play against. But like right now, like I don't have that trade anymore. So I'm a little bummed out. But all signs in my body are like, I'm looking for every excuse to still stay bullish if I can find a good bull setup. And normally, since I don't find that, I normally should just be sitting out. But I'm taking a few more trades than normal just to trade on stream. Trying some different things. But have I seen a move of that magnitude? Yeah, we've seen, now not recently, I'd say, but we have seen some pretty nice. Let me get like a blank chart here. Let me show you what we've seen before, that I've seen before. Like we've had some pretty sizable runs even after COVID. Let's just do SPX here. Okay, let's just DD band. It's gonna muddle that up a little bit. So let's just open it up. All right. So think of a percent basis, right? Don't even think like 40 something points. Be like 4,100 to 4,600 is about 1/9, right? About 11% move. So in other times have we seen 11% moves in a month? I mean, yeah, we have plenty of times, like here to here, like post COVID, this is of the same magnitude. 2,900, 3,300. That's actually 1/7. So it's about 14% move in that particular month. I mean, but yeah, you do see some pretty sizable climbs, especially like short squeezes. They can move very rapidly, right? It's not really just buying pressure, people like buying and selling profit. Our DD bands are kind of congesting up this chart a little bit. Let's go to a weekly chart, actually. A little bit easier to. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon to see, you know, fueled short squeezes in the mix of maybe some long buying to create long sustainable moves like this. Like it's extremely bullish. I mean, it's like you don't have a lot of selling pressure and then shorts are covering at the same time. It can create some big upside moves. But yeah, but like this, I mean, this just like downside and immediately whipsaw back up is interesting. Like the time period is what makes it a little neat. So you can see we had something very similar post COVID, like we're fighting at the highs. Like a similar, you know, setup, like 3 or 4 sustainable weeks to the upside that kind of consolidated here and then continued to go. I still think we're in that same boat. I think higher for lower is appropriate. So you can find other like weeks and months that looked similar. I know, I'm gonna try to find like a similar candle. But that quickly, it's not common outside of like recessions. Let's see if, I don't think we've had something similar as far as like downside, 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 then pop up like that as quickly as it did in a while. Normally it takes a lot longer to build up that confidence. This is very similar, I'd say. I know this isn't on a percent wise, you know, 3 weeks for the market to go 730 to 800. That's 10% move in 3 weeks. 70 on 700. Like, it kind of reminds me of that, right? Just pop right back up to the top after you know, like, what, 8 or 9 weeks of selling and then 3 weeks back up to the top. That's very similar to what we've seen. Similar magnitude move. When I say magnitude, like on a percent basis, right? So yeah, good topic. Oh, shoot. All right, dumb market. Stop being dumb. It's time for me to get out of here as well. This kind of sucks. So my position here, right inside of this, I think I'm gonna just start trimming this out if nothing really happens. You know, we need to get below 65, or I'm just gonna start feeling this out and probably cut it. Catalyst bumped us out of the way. Market's moving on Fed swaps, pricing and rate cuts. And is this a bull trap? It's not a bull trap. It's hard to say, but you know, unfortunate. Was great setup for the technical play. And then of course you can't control these one-offs that come through. You just have to react to them. So we'll see. Yeah, like nowhere close to 2%. But also raising rates is a narrative. It's not really a solution. Raising rates is not going to control the inflation that we have. The inflation we have is carved in stone, still an effect of COVID era world. It's still baked into high salaries. It's still baked into the employment situation, still baked into prices of raw materials and things. And a lot of stuff is anchored in inflation. That's not an easy fix with a rate change. So as far as their like narrative goes, you know, they raise rates to destimulate the market and the lending cycles slow down with a higher rate environment, which can slow down economic expansion on credit. And that's really what raising rates does as a handle. And in this particular environment, it's not like everyone out there is getting a credit card and ridiculously maxing it out on stuff they can't afford. That threatens the credit market, which can cause cycles, right? And collapse the market when people can't afford the stuff they buy because it's so easy to get credit or houses or whatever. It's hard to get those things now. It's harder with higher principals and higher premiums. It's not like we're in this massive bullish economy. We're in a soft landing bull economy where things are looking better and looking better for the future. It's just a different world we live in. Rate hikes are going to do nothing to the base mechanisms causing inflation. And I think most economists could agree that the type of initiating cost push inflation has only itself to repair itself, as in as people go back to work and competition for jobs brings wages down, companies can now have a lower bottom line paying out employee wages, therefore they can keep their margins by lowering prices to continue to compete with each other. Inflation is curbed now through competition between companies, not through rate hikes. It's a narrative being used to control the stock market. That's it. Why did inflation start coming down to begin with? Wasn't the rate hikes? Maybe a little bit, but it had everything to do with people going back to work and that bringing wages down. When there's more workers than jobs, wages come down and cost of production comes down. And those are the things that really have helped bring the CPI and other inflation metrics down, right? So if you think about where we are, the goal of the Fed is just a narrative at this point. As long as you keep the labor market healthy, inflation is just going to slowly come down on its own. Because what happens if you're a company that was paying double the salary for a certain job, and now there are more people competing for the job, you can get the same worker for less money over time. you're going to lower your bottom line. And now you competing against another company can compete for sales by undercutting them on prices to maintain your margins and therefore share value. And so because of that competition, wages have to come down first. The cost of production has to come down first, then wages. And then companies can start competing with each other again for business when economy is tight and you and another business are both struggling, but somehow you managed to get a couple cheaper workers and now you can undercut your competitor. That mechanism is what will lower inflation. And if you guys just have to see that from the next level perspective. We're not, I mean, how many of you went out there and got a brand new Chase Sapphire car with a $25,000 limit and maxed it out on Louis Vuittons and shit you can't afford? Nobody's in that boat right now, but that's where rate hikes would start to destimulate that sort of credit cycling, right? Where people are maxing out and overspending, and you have economic growth leading to inflation. Hyper-economic growth is directly controlled by, you know, interest rates can really, really slow down stupidity. But it can't repair the front end part of the logistical chain. It's that just slowly, the Fed is just using the narrative to buy time to let the economy heal itself. And that's the same thing I've been saying since COVID. Rate hikes or inflation's high and Fed's going to cut rates. Well, why are they cutting rates, right? Or raising rates? Well, what that does is that scares Wall Street, right, into being bearish and selling off, which makes companies fire people. And firing people to these exuberant salaries puts them in a desperate boat that over time they'll be willing to take any job they can get, even at a lower salary, just to keep their bills being paid. So it's playing chicken with the labor market, and it worked because inflation's been coming down as unemployment has been, as people are being laid off. And that's exactly what we postulated, and we were correct on that. See, we were talking about getting high earlier, and now we're talking about having the right outlook on the economy. We nailed it with our call. We were so on point with with our call there. What is it? Unemployment. You know how to get inflation down. The cause of inflation initially, now it's not really the main cause of inflation now, it's one of the bigger causes, but you keep just continuing jobless claims, people that are filing for unemployment insurance. These are people that have been fired because they're getting paid too much, and companies have kind of had enough of that, and they're having a hard time getting back to the jobs they want, the high salaries they want to afford the things that are in the world of inflation. So the longer people are sitting there without a job, you had 100,000 salary, and then during COVID, you managed to get 175 because you just get this exuberant, crazy salary because you were the only worker going back to work, and you played that competitive game. Now you're like in a good boat, and then all of a sudden, now you got laid off, and you're at 175. You used to make 100. You're like, well, shit, I got to pay my bills. All right, fine, I'll take 150. Okay, I'll take 130. Come on, somebody hire me at 120. Okay, hire me at 100. Fine, I'll take 90. Just give me a job. Like, that's where we are, and that is going to bring inflation down. And the fact that this is trending up and inflation is trending and CPI is trending down is the correlation on the wage side of things. And I hate that my trade is squeezing me, though, and this really makes me sad. Boo-hoo. I don't like that. This is going to be another one of those days. Or go work for UPS, right? So, yeah, they make so much money there. It's going to be 5 years before we're at 2%. Oh, we're stuck. 3 to 5 years until we get there, minimum. It's not going to move fast. It's going to have waves, and it's just going to kind of, yeah. Anyways, I'm hanging on like 15 extra minutes for you guys, but this is about time I need to run. I have no I have no thoughts on this other than I just want to stay the course. I want to at least get a test of hedge pressure to close out. My point of no return is bull side. But that's it. Sorry, guys. Let's call it. Like I said, I've got to make 7 or 8 points, and I'll probably get out of this. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Unfortunate squeeze against us on Fed. Fed talk. Random catalyst. There's no technical thing other than that. If you got it right, you got lucky. If you got it wrong, you got unlucky. Some of your, just trading happens that way. Sometimes the catalysts come out of nowhere and just kick you one way or the other. But we'll see. I think I'm still good, but we'll see how this works. We got a couple hours to let this play out. I don't think it's going to move too fast today. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Our Black Friday thing is still going on until the 1st of December. Don't forget, 60% off a yearly. I mean, that's like the best deal I think we'll ever have. And all our prices are about to basically double once the marketplace comes out in a couple weeks. So keep that in mind. Get on Liquidity Maps, get on the free trial, extended trial, sorry, and check us out while you can. $35 a month for 3 months. Extended trial link below. Check it out. And you can get our tools, indicators, and learn the Rock Scooter way. Love you guys. See you later.